Good evening, all, and welcome to Kal-bardr's Corner for this second episode of Three Former Fat Guys. Buckle in for an hour of ridiculousness, 60 minutes of chaos, and 2.5 hours of pure fun. I am Baron Kal-bardr Gellir, and for this show, I will be joined by two gentles that are no strangers to a tall tale or sharing a drunken story. Firstly, to my right, from the Kingdom of Glenalbin, Duke James the Holy, or as he's known tonight, Jimbo the Benevolent. And to my left, hailing from the Kingdom of Atlantia, you know him as Uncle Fearghus, Viscount Fearghus McArt. Good evening, fellas. So, over there and over there. Directions are hard. I always love when people are new to this. They're like, I'm pointing over here, and you're not. Fearghus is pointing off screen. He just didn't know it.
I need to flip that thing around. I have no idea how to do this stuff. I'm old, for Christ's sake. Look.
Yeah. Technology's hard. Usually when I'm referencing anything, I'm pointing to my junk. So.
Well, when it's the largest thing in the room, everything points to it, right?
Right.
Oh. So apparently my drink is fancy tonight. Look, it's got decoration.
Oh, decoration.
I got a little wedge, yeah.
Right. I went into a case. I was like, hey, I need a drink. She's like, all right. So she made me some fancy ginger thing.
That is to the best of ladies. Yeah.
Gingers.
Oh, let's see. It says that I'm a millstone follower. So that's what. Yes. Party dad, you are a millstone follower. That is what's hanging from your neck. All right. So welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me for another fun-filled episode of Two Former Fat Guys. This is the pre-Pennsic episode, or in my case, since I'm not going to Pennsic because fuck y'all guys, the post On Tier West episode. How about that? I have to start the show out apologizing to our audience for Cal being shit at time zones and shit at dates, apparently. So earlier today, I was like, oh, I've got a show tonight. Looked at the event and went, that says next week. Fuck. So my bad for the last minute change there. Thank you for my two guests for keeping me straight and not fucking killing me this long.
I'm going to tell you straight up. I didn't even look at the date. I was just like, I know it's next week because if it's next Thursday, I'd be like, nope, I'm out. I'm going to Pennsic, right? I'll be on the road.
Yeah. And I've got Ask Nights Live next Thursday. So I looked at it. I was like, oh, I can do that because it's at 7:00. Ask Nights is at 9. It's fine. Then I was like, oh no, they're both going to be gone. They're going to say, fuck you, Cal. We're not doing your show next week. I get it. Pennsic is much more important than this show. I'd be there too. So. Let's talk Pennsic tonight. I think that's a good topic, and we'll talk some On Tier West and tell some stories. So, I've never been to Pennsic before, so it's on the bucket list. So, who's been to Pennsic? Tell me some Pennsic stuff. What do I need to know about Pennsic?
It's super big, and it's got multiple levels. It's like an onion, right? If you start out in the center, it's like the SCA, and then it's like SCA Con, and then it's like a sci-fi convention, and then it's like people dressing funny, and then it's like, who the fuck are you? Like, that's Pennsic. Like, if you just start in the center, work your way out. Because you'll walk down the street, and you'll see, like, perfect 14th century, like, head to toe, and then right after them, somebody's got fucking elf ears on. I ain't shitting you. Like, it just happens, right? You're just like, what happens at Pennsic shouldn't happen. Like, yeah.
I love it, man. I think it's a pinnacle of nerd fuckery. That's what I think. I think it's a little bit of everything. If you want to go just like do SCA shit, you can go do SCA shit. If you want to kind of bounce around and meet other people that are that are into other cool nerdy things, SCA adjacent type stuff, they're there. There's some people that just do Pennsic. There's like a little vampire trope that shows up. They're cool to party with. Two chucks are cool to party with. There's like a fairy group that shows up. They're cool to party. I've never met a group up there that wasn't cool to party with that didn't exist inside the SCA. Like, if they're outside the SCA, they were all fucking cool. Only douchebags that I ever really hung out with or met at Pennsic were in the SCA.
Right.
But and it's not fault that they're really just caught up in it. Pennsic is a big deal to a lot of people, and I don't want to shit on that. Because they get caught up in it. Man, it's a lot of pressure when you got 10,000 people on site and you feel responsible for all those people. So it's well worth doing, though, man. Well worth doing.
It's crazy. So I've heard bits about it. I've heard lots of stories from people. It is for those watching. Pennsic is in Pennsylvania. It's a once a year 2-week war. and it is so large, in fact, that they actually have a mayor, like an actual mayor, like legally.
They got a post office, FedEx, and UPS on the site.
Because of the amount of people that are there for the amount of time. There's some like to be a legal town or whatever, there's some like limit. And apparently Pennsic, in the 2 weeks people are there, meets that limit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it becomes like the 4th or 5th largest town in Pennsylvania for 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I can't fathom that. I'll be honest. I cannot fathom. Like, I've been to Gulf Wars and seen how big Gulf Wars is.
Well, that's it. You're going next year.
Huh?
You're going next year. I don't give a fuck. You're going.
I'm working on it. I'm trying.
Drag you out by that giant Amish ear beard of yours.
Oh, that's true.
So that's the one thing too. Like, you can show because it is in Pennsylvania. You like, if you want to like totally buy in and show up dressed like to the nines and Amish gear and be like, I'm on Rumspringer. It's hard to do now for older. But like it'd be hard to argue it, especially if you just a little bit of research on your Amish shit. Like bring your sheet where you'll hold it. Like, it's my sex sheet, yo. Here to fuck some shit up.
There it is. I'm telling you.
I feel like I can pull it off.
Yeah. Pennsylvania, so do I. A little bit of research.
I've been mistaken for both Amish and Muslim. It depends on where I'm at. Depending on how dark I am. I get both.
How much?
I never get that.
Yeah.
Me either.
I know it's the piercings. I don't know. Like, now that I've had the piercings,
possibly, piercings, tattoos. Yeah, that'll do it. I do occasionally get mistaken for an asshole. Occasionally.
Only occasionally? Shit, like I thought that was a job title. Like, I'm working my way up through the ranks.
So, there you go. So party that. So I think I'm sure Fergus knows it, but Holy, if you don't know, so Randall here called Party Dad out in the West.
Oh my God, he is the biggest fucking hippie. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God, dude.
Look up Party Dad. Great man to party with. He is the newest paragon of merriment from the West, by the way.
Very well deserved.
So I was super happy with that. That is, like, we all have our awards. We all want to be a knight. We all want to be a pelican, whatever. Like, the paragon of merriment from the West Kingdom is like one of my Dreamstone awards.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it is like you've done some badass, awesome stuff to make the SCA more fun. That's the award. And I was like, yes, that's what I want to be.
There are 2 awards there are very few awards. There are 2 that I still covet that I'll never get. Right, and Paragon of Merriment is one of them. Right, because I now no longer live out there. But I'm like, that is the award. Right, I would wear that shit right next to my knight's chain. But boom, like I would make up something like knight's chain and a goofy like something. Because
What's the other one? You said 2.
Oh, the other one, to be honest, I received it. Well, actually, I have not, and I would prefer not to state. It would be fair. Very, very uncool of me. But there's another one that I don't think I would ever be good enough for. But I'm shitting you. If I were to get it, you would. I already cry. You would see me on the ground. Just there would be nothing left.
It's a weepy Fergus. What about you, James? You have any like Dreamstone awards in the SBA?
I do. We have an award here that was kind of started as a joke called the Ram's Liver, right? Because everything here is because we're the Goat Kingdom and stuff. Everything's based off goats or rams or something. So they created this award called the Ram's Liver. Gave it to a couple guys, but then it became like super coveted. Like, it became this elite order that I think to this day there's like 18 of us in it. But I got put in that. It was kind of I invented some stupid drinking games and did some stupid shit and got that. But I mean, there's augmentation of arms. That's kind of the end all be all for each kingdom. I think. And I would like to think that at some point I've made my mark enough in this kingdom that that I'll become like a cornerstone. That's my legacy's all we really have, right?
Right.
Like, that's all we have. Like, if people mistake that for anything, they're wrong. Because you look at people that have passed, 90% of the time, these people too, if they were fighters, like, it's very little that they talk about their fighting. For like Meridiers and Glenavon and stuff, is like Francois, and most of the stuff you hear about him is not about his fighting. It's just about his character and who the guy was, right? So that's
Richard Rayfin, another great name.
Oh, Rayfin, yeah, prime example. So, I feel where augmentation of arms is shallow compared to the legacy that people leave like that. But that's, something that I think a lot of people really should strive for. Pierce is cool and all, but something like that in most kingdoms, at 90% of the kingdoms. That's really something.
One that I did receive, it's called Knight Banneret, and it's something that has recently been taken to Meridiers, and I believe also they're talking about taking it to other kingdoms. It's an augmentation of arms for knights that exemplify what it is to be a knight and to travel and protect the kingdom. And I have been awarded that by a great friend. Actually, the guy that gave me my first award gave me that award, and that was Connor, Duke Connor, gave me that at Pennsic a few years ago, and I was stunned and floored.
That type of stuff's badass. That's one thing I appreciate about. I'm getting heavy for this episode.
I know.
One thing I appreciate about
calm down.
Fuck. There, I'll say it.
There you go.
fuck. That's one thing I appreciate about the white scarves. Yeah, appreciate kind of about the white scarves because it really wasn't a peerage, but it was something that was kind of, it was an award that was recognized across multiple kingdoms for one thing, right? And I think it's one thing that SCA greatly lacks is those awards that spread throughout the SCA. And I wish we really had unity in a couple things other than just the peerages. Because you have people out there that really simplify, different aspects of like, well, we do, there's people I look at like, oh, this guy is a true SCA knight, or this guy's a true Arthurian knight, or this, and really the ladies more than dudes, because we're a bunch of wankers, right? We get to be rock stars for swinging a fucking stick. They're the ones that kind of push in the corner a little bit because they're not out there swinging a stick. When you have a lady though that all the knights and all the guys are like, bend the knee to that person, that's fucking super important. And I've met women in the SCA that I'm like, even though she's not a rose or or a diamond, for our team it's diamonds for principality. So even though they're not in this royal position, that woman meets all criteria of what it means to be, a peer and should be elevated and put on the pedestal. Not that all women, I think all women in this area should be put on that pedestal. That's why we fucking play the game. There's some women that just live above that, right? And I wish there was something that we recognize across the SCA other than just, hey, I know that woman, she's really fucking cool.
Yeah, the roses are things. I mean, obviously, being a rose or a diamond is because some person swung a stick well, right? Let's be honest with that. Yeah. But it's not. It's really like the idea that those people have sat on a throne for 6 months or a year or 2 years, depending on the criteria there, have done so much these kingdoms other than just swinging a stick, right? Because the three of us can all attest to how much the person, or at least the two of you can on the throne, and me, because I know how much I swing a stick, how much your significant other plays a part in your reigns, right? Mm-hmm. Those roses mean so much to our kingdoms. I know, so I get to work a rose tea here in Meridiers for our last crown list, and hearing them talk, hearing the community they've built around themselves was really cool for me as the fighter, as the dude in the room. Getting to hear that was really neat. And then going out to Ontario West and watching, so we brought Viscountess Catriona with us, was one of our roses previously from Shenagua, brought back out there, and seeing the rose community they built out there, and they accepted her, but also accepted other roses from the Outlands, from Artemisia, or with roses or diamonds or whatever, and just say, no, you're part of our community now, and took them in and made a thing. Yeah. That was fucking cool. Like that is what I want to see the SCA be more of right there.
There's in a shitty way, like I've seen. I want to say it was in Lily's. I'm pretty sure it was Lily's Destroy. One of the awards I thought were kingdom for sure. The Roses were holding a tournament, and and most fighters, I'm saying probably 95% of the fighters in the SCA, when they enter a Rose tournament or whatever the equivalent is for principalities from wherever you're at, when they enter a tournament, I think everybody tries to make sure that they're on their fucking P's and Q's, and trying to, just live a little better than what they normally do. At least I know I do, because I'm at my best a fucking trash goblin, so I try to be a little above that. So, but I saw this tournament with guy was kind of being douchey, right? And he walked up, or the Roses walked up in this collective pack, and they uninvited him from the tournament, like halfway through the tournament. And it was shit. Holy shit. Yeah. And you could hear the quiet across the fucking site.
Yeah.
Like, and that maintained for a good 6 or 7 minutes. And all the fighters were just like, holy shit, how do we collectively move forward? You know, and you know, that's fucking power, you know, and I wish the fucking Roses realized that. That's fucking power, man. I mean, and some do, some Roses do.
Right. Like, we take the field for someone else's honor. Like, I mean, yeah, it's our honor on the line, and we're out there putting on the show. But ultimately, it's whatever favor we carry. It's whoever we're out there for, whether it's a rose or a consort. Like, and I think we forget that stuff. Like, I know I do. I forget. I get in my own head, and I'm fighting my own fight. And like, I know I fought in 2 different rose tournaments now. One here in Meridies and one out in Ontier. And remembering on that field why I'm there that day, it was a huge impact for that.
See, I am blessed, and not saying that other people aren't, but I am blessed with the lady that I have, because she is super tough, super strong, stuff like this. And I remember when we were first getting together, and she really set the tone for me fighting for her. And the first day I was going to fight for her, she looked at me before I walked on the field, and she told me straight up, look at me dead in the eye, and she goes, "You better come home with as much honor as you left with." And that was it. Like, that was the end of the discussion. I was like, oh shit, right? This is the tone. And that's the tone that needs to be set. We got to remember that it's not just us, right? It's not just the person swinging the stick, you know, male, female, whatever. It's those you represent. Right. And my wife now is still my consort. And she knows that anytime I do something wrong, she can go out there and snatch me up by the ear and drag me off that field, because
I can see it. I can see that happening, actually.
And she's much shorter than me, and I'm telling you right now, I would have my ass whooped before I got home. Like, it just is how it works. And I think more of that needs to happen. Fighters need to understand that it's not you're representing, right? It's not it's you're out there, and people are like, wow, that guy's a dick, and the first person they're going to look at is the person you're with, right? And it makes them feel like shit. It makes them look like shit. Some people, I keep saying guys, some people just want to win, right? They're just a victory-based culture. And they're like, I'm going to do whatever I got to win. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not only just fucking yourself, but you're everybody else that's involved with you, right? That stinks.
Your peer, your crown in that case. Mm-hmm. Yep. Speaking of your lovely lady, so she's not sure which is funnier currently, the guest or the automated subtitles she's reading. So I'm curious to see what our subtitles are for this episode, because holy fuck.
Oh, she's probably sitting in the front room right now because she's not at her computer, because it's right there, just heckling the shit out of all 3 of us. Trust me. James, you're gonna be Pennsic. You gotta come meet the boss, right? Like, my job is to look cute and carry heavy shit. That's
I'm stoked, man.
Right?
I'm so you know how stoked I am for Pennsic. You know about Pennsic too? Like, there's ladies I met like only online through the course of COVID and stuff, because I'm you know, I have a social media presence. It's a little wackadoo and stuff, so I draw attention in weird ways and shit like that a little bit. So like, there's people want to meet Pennsic and some of these ladies and stuff too. I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking scared shitless, because at my core I'm a chuckle fuck. So like, it's like, and I don't want to let them know. I'm like, I'll be like, oh, it's this woman and this woman and this woman, because they'll weaponize that shit. And they should, right?
You in a hack.
Right, and make me jump through the hoops like a fucking little show pony. Because I would.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. You know. My lady, when you meet her, I'll tell you right now, she'll be the one going, yeah, fuck up, go ahead, fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find out. Is that her peer motto, like on her banners? Fuck around and find out, but in Latin. Because it should be.
No, she can post her. I don't know, dude. I'm like I said, I lift heavy objects and I look cute. That's it. Like, she's also the person who makes this gorgeous garb and all this other stuff. And I'm like, look, I'm Viking kin. That's the only time you'll ever hear me call myself Viking. Right. I will wear whatever she makes me, but if I don't like it, I'll only wear it once. Right? Like, that's it. Right? I'm imagining in a minute she's just gonna blow this thing up. Like, it's coming. Be ready.
Fuck you, Fearghus.
Once you pull her chain, that chain is pulled, Jack, and it breaks off and shit happens.
All right, so we had a comment from Glen Albin here. I want to go back to real quick about the ram's liver, because I don't know the context of this, so I'm curious. Oh, not that one. Apparently, we have to unban Shotzi to get a ram's liver, or is that still too dangerous?
So we had no. So as a lot of people know the game, Liar's Dice, right? We have the cups. You have the 5 dice, 6 dice, whatever. You shake the cups up, and you have to bid on numbers and shit, right? Yeah. So we turned it into a drinking game, because why the fuck not, right? Yeah. I'd turn fucking Monopoly or Life or fucking Shoots and Ladders into a drinking game if I could. So we turned it into a drinking game, and it spread like fucking syphilis. It was fucking horrible. So much so that like we have this event called Knights Academy, which I mean, in the name itself, that's kind of what it was. The Knights Academy. People showed up. We had like a Friday night bonfire. We talked about the virtue of the chivalry. And Saturday we had one of these nightly challenges. We had challenge nights and boasts and all this other really kind of epic shit. Yeah, and so I think the second one we did, it was usually around Halloween and stuff. But the second one we did, we brought Shotzi, right? Me and a bunch of other fucktards and stuff. So we were like, because it's a pirate game, we're like, oh, I got to bring rum, right? So everybody brings some flavored rum. So we had like roughly like 42 bottles of fucking this Pouzin rum.
Jesus.
Right? So, yeah, right. 42. You go, oh, fuck, that's a shit ton, right? So about an hour and a half into this shit, we ran out of fucking rum, right? So I'm like fishing around this giant coffin cooler we got. I'm like, we're out of fucking booze, right? But, if you fucking bring it, they will come. So, like, within a matter of seconds, fucking all this other liquor gets started, slammed on the table. And the fucking game keeps continuing, right? Until the Kingdom Kyurgin showed up and shut that shit down. She's like, y'all are fucking done. This is over, right? So we had this poor fucking squire named Ocho. Her name's Quintus, Roman guy. None of us could remember Quintus. We just knew it was a numeral, so he got called Ocho from there on out. Ocho. So I've never seen anybody vomit with recoil until that night. He fucking started at the door and just right up to the fucking ceiling, right? In like two massive waves. Just and then fucking just continues through the peace talk, right? So he goes down. Another guy goes, it's just left and right, vomit. We're at 2 o'clock in the morning. We're burning clothes in the middle of the field where people have vomited on themselves, right? They just don't even want their clothes back. So we have a burn pile of clothes, right? That's how bad it got. But that like, in a weird way, that's kind of how we got knighted, because at 3 o'clock in the morning is when the knights saw me mopping vomit off a ceiling. They were like, "That guy has to be the knight, right?"
Yeah, right there. Service.
Yeah.
That's service right there. If I'd have been a king, I'd have knighted you right there. Vomit everything. Gather around and slapping the shit out of somebody.
Yeah. So like it wasn't shortly after that, another event, Border March Melees in the East Shore. It's like a joint Glenavon. That's weird. That's weird too. A joint Glenavon event between us and the East Shore. We take it over there, right? Because sharing is caring, and we've already been infested with herpes, so we're going to spread it to them too. So Friday night we're playing on this giant fucking tent. Same thing. We all bring this liquor. We run out of liquor, then you start bringing all this other liquor out, and that's when shit goes sideways. So at one point in time, there are two duchesses standing on a table yelling at each other. "No, cunt, you got to drink. No, bitch, I said it's your turn to drink. Listen here, you cunt, blah, blah, blah." And I scooped my shit up, packed it away, and went back. I'm like, we're over, right? About 20 minutes later, they broke into one of the fucking merchant tents, stole some fucking dice and cups and shit, left like money on the fucking counter, and we're back at it. It's fucking, so it didn't get banned per se, but it got kind of like, look, he got banned. Like we're done with this for a while.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't do this.
It's very much that thing where they go, "We're just not going to look over there, but this doesn't exist." Like,
and in a matter of like 8 months, maybe, like it wasn't a long time. It was a very short period of time. But you can't, it's the fucking South. You can't do that. You can't release that type of shit on these type of people. You just can't do that.
So coming to a red tower near you, Shotzi. That's happening. Bring that shit back.
All right, I gotta go. Right,
come on down. We're going to play Shotzi.
I may have to talk to the boss lady and be like, "I need to be released for the weekend or the week or however long it takes to get over this."
Leave your chain at the house. Just leave the favor there.
Who are you? I'm Douchebagicus. That's my name.
Yeah. You gotta train up for that type of game.
Right.
People tell themselves too, like, what's the worst gonna happen? I'm gonna do 5 shots. What's the worst that can happen? And next thing you know, we're burning your fucking clothes in the middle of the field and popping vomit off the ceiling. So.
My lady has wanted to burn my clothes more than once.
Yeah.
I've seen the Rams over like there were a couple Rams overs given out for that. I saw some of the early ones. A guy named Big John basically made a portable margarita machine out of 2 5-gallon buckets and a garbage disposal, right? So we shove the vent, plug it in anywhere, and you got a fucking this giant 5-gallon bucket margarita machine, right? We took that around while he got his. A couple people, some ice lewd shit happened.
That's fucking redneck engineering right there. That's what that is.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we had Jeffrey Scott.
When you said that, I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, I can put that together, sure. That's impressive.
We had Jeffrey Scott. He built a booze whacker, and he took a weed eater motor and put it on a blender, right? So you just, we would fucking rip on this thing and get it going. And I'm talking, I don't care what you have to get blended. Will it blend? Yes. Like small. Curves, like this fucking thing didn't give a shit. And dude, we would make these things like alcoholic slushies for the end of the day. Like you're out there, it's like 7-Eleven, but in the worst possible way. We would be just, and he had it on a freaking wagon. So he would just
we had
around the event.
I'm gonna leave names out of this. We had a 5-stroke Biggs and Stratton that we did that with. Created the whole pulley system and all this stuff. So we had it ripping, trying to get it going. And this lady was like, "Oh, you just need to choke a little bit." So she leaned down, trying to like find the choke on this like roughly engineered machine, and it caught, and the fucking chain caught her fucking dress and ripped her fucking naked. It's like right there. Yeah.
Well, something got choked.
Middle ages it should have been, baby.
Yeah, you know what? I think I have partied with some major fucking people, but nobody has ever got caught in a machine and been declothed. We got to hang out, James. Like seriously,
we're fucking missing out.
Hey, the boss lady is here. I got to make sure that she's okay with me running around with James for Pennsic.
So Fergus, apparently you sealed a vomit tunic in a bag at Estrella
for weeks. It was like 2 weeks. It was in that bag, and I didn't want to give it up. Yeah, it was that time. I think I told the story about whenever I locked myself in a privy to save the kingdom.
Oh shit!
That was that tunic. Yes. 2 weeks later, I find the bag, right, and I open it. This Satan came out like, "You gotta let me go. Like, I'm out." Right? He left. Right? He was like, "It's horrible in this bag." Right? It was bad. Right? And then I'm like, "I can watch this."
Oh
no, you cannot.
Wow!
It should have been on the pyre of clothing.
Yeah,
it
just
should have
been blaze. It and the porta potty just set them both on fire.
Dude, they sealed it up.
Yeah. Which, speaking of porta potties, your Grace, you gave me a task after the last show we had to go to Ontario West and get a porta potty story. I have to come back and tell you that I did not do that. I could not achieve the task. I tried my damnedest, because I will tell you this: we drink hard here on the southern coast. I believe that the Westies put us to shame.
Mm-hmm.
They drink fucking hard out there.
We got 50 years of practice. I'm sorry, I moved. They got 50 years of practice.
I will say this though: in my time in Ontario West, in my drinking, I was mistaken for the king of two different kingdoms. Only one of which I'm from, apparently. But because apparently, according to Her Excellency Vera, all bearded, pointy-headed men look the same.
So look, in a situation like that, when somebody asks you for your crown, you never say yes or no. You just say, "Well, what is it you need?"
Exactly.
Right? It's the Ghostbuster rule. You never admit it. You never deny it. Oh my God, you're the king. Well, what is it you need? Yeah. Right? And if you can provide that service, right, you're making your crown look good, or whatever crown look good.
And if it's some, it ain't you.
yeah, right. And then come back, well, the fucking, if they get banished, well.
So apparently I got drunk enough that I didn't remember things, but I was accused of stealing a bottle of Fireball from the bar. I didn't fucking do it. Let me be very clear to the internet out there. Hold on. I can say this now. His Excellency Gabe did it. That fucknut. The King of Artemisia stole that bottle. And I did not do it, but apparently all pointy-headed bearded guys look the same.
I mean,
so it's a thing. Granted, when you're veering, you can see this much over the bar because the bar is like as tall as you are. I get it. But no, my only other good drinking story I have, unfortunately, is after I threw the Princess of the Mist under the bus in court, she decided to grace me with a mouthful of Malort. Yes.
I'm told you she was mean.
To all the folks who've watched Between Two Peers and heard the stories of Malort, it is as bad as it sounds. It is as bad as it's been legend. But
it's fucking horrible.
It's fucking horrible. Helga described it as if engine degreaser and like Pine Sol hate fucked in your mouth.
Yep.
And that's accurate, frankly. That's about what I've experienced.
Trust me, I helped raise that girl. You know, yeah, she's mean.
Malort being horrible, I would baby bird some Malort. I'm not gonna lie. You know, because I'm like, well, why not, right? I was fucking baby bird and fucking car bombs at Gulf War, so who am I to judge? Right?
Hey, it all depends on what I had to drink before it.
Right. I mean, I did. I went into the day going, okay, I'm you know, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? Malort's the thing out here. I'm gonna drink some. I'm watching Gabe, because Gabe had it like in a because of course Gabe was the one carrying it around. He had it in like a plant macrame hanger, just carrying it around, because apparently it makes it fancy if you put it in the fucking macrame hanger.
Well, yeah.
You know, he's just offering to people, and he's just drinking it like he enjoys the shit.
So let's back up a little bit. If you see two prostitutes on the street, are you gonna get the one without the fishnets or the one in the fishnets? You're going for fishnets, baby. So I get it.
He's got a point.
Yeah.
Right?
And that fucker gifted me Malort at Gulf Wars. It's so bad. It's so gifted. It's so bad.
There you go. Party Dad agrees with me. It's fucking bad. But I'll say this as a challenge to the viewers out there: if you go to the West Kingdom or to Antir or fucking even Kaid at this point, or you're hanging out with the Westies and Malort shows up, take a shot. If I don't get baby birded, if I don't get baby birded Malort, I'm upset.
See, being an ex-Westie, I get to go. Yeah, I'll find somebody else to be the victim of that. I've done my time for God and country. I'm out. Like, hey, you strange new guy, come here.
Which they did. Hey, you're new. What's a Malort? They're like, oh, sure, whatever. Because if you walk up and a crowd offers you alcohol, you take it. It's rude not to. These people are getting into.
I used to have a rule that if it was glowing, I wasn't drinking it. Because, I made that mistake once. Yeah.
Did they offer you? Is it a pour in your mouth? Hey,
yeah, like you just. I was like, what is this? And they go, just drink it. I'm like, no, you don't survive as long as I have. Just going, sure, no.
I grew up in the '90s. That whole like, here, take it.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. But yeah, no, they drink hard out in the West. I was not. I'll say this: Friday morning. So got there on Thursday. Friday morning, had to fight. I was much more hungover on the battlefield than I ever needed to be. I won't even lie. I'm glad the tournament wasn't until Saturday, because I would not have fucking functioned. I can war fight hungover, because like spear and you just fucking poke in that direction, it works out. You can do that hungover. Yeah, I could not have tournament fought as hungover as I was. And I have to say thank you to Blackwood and others out there that took me in and took care of me, made sure I was not dead that day. Because fucking Blackwood, man. So Blackwood's a mercenary company out there, and I've got a show coming up with Sir Neil. They are just a badass group of folks, by the way.
Is it Blackwood or Black Company?
Blackwood.
Okay.
I mean, Black Company's pretty cool too. Don't get me wrong. I love Lash. Sure. And Black Company's cool. Now Blackwood. So Daoud and Neil and and Carrick, that crowd. So I was fighting with them with their little unit. They're just an amazing group of folks. They had their own little water stations up with like pickles and oranges and shit, and like they made sure I was actually hydrated, because I was not, because I was too alcoholic at that point to even function. They fed me. It was just an amazing week. But yeah, don't go into a Westie camp expecting not to come out fucking sloshed, because you will.
Yeah.
Noted.
I'm just checking it because, being from out there, I'm sorry, not trying to derail the conversation. Is it Darkwood, Blackwood, or Ermine Company?
So Blackwood, some of Blackwood is part of, or used to be part of, Ermine Company.
There we go. All right, because the names you started, I was like,
the yellow background, black axe.
Done. Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. 100%.
Yeah. No, because that was confusing. Okay, so I was camping in an unremarkable ditch, which is mostly Blackwood and some friends, but was told I was camping with Ermine Company, which had their own camp elsewhere. And I didn't know the difference. So I just said, oh yeah, I'm with Ermine Company, thinking that's who I was with. It turns out Ermine Company's on another spot. But some of those people are from Ermine Company because of night associations and things, but are now in the free company doing mercenary stuff. So it was a whole confusing thing. People needed to find me. They could not find me because I was in a different spot.
Oh, by the way, the boss just messaged me via Facebook and told me I needed to turn off the white background.
You are very washed out currently. Yeah, it's a thing.
I am. Like, this is the thing.
I thought it was a glow.
It's
the glow of
the beard.
drunkenness.
It's the cocaine
help
snort
it.
coming out.
All right, I'm gonna because I can't see the comments. I gotta figure that out. Stupid
Turn off the
technology. Hey, wife with the technology.
Why are you looking at us? We're not pretty. Look at the comments.
But if I got the comments up, then I'm all washed out and I look like pale face, right? Like, look, I am one stage out of being transparent. That's how I'm telling you. Like ginger.
So Party Dad here says you should have seen Helga's face when I swished it around in my mouth talking about the Malort, because he did. He's just like, that's cool, and I was like, I watched people drink that shit like it was candy, like they fucking enjoyed it. I question their sanity.
Oh, so it's hard to place. Like I did the same thing. Like I took a shot and I'm like, fuck, I don't know how I feel about that, right? But like with most things, like, oh, give me like 3 more, so let me figure this shit out. So like, do another shot, and you kind of live there for a minute, and you're like, nah, I'm not digging on this. Then I got to take a 3rd and 4th to make sure I don't like it. It's I don't know. There's properties of it that I just don't dig on. Like it's dry yet wet. Like it's just
Yeah.
It was the burp afterwards I didn't enjoy. It was the like 10 minutes of like, this is gross, and you can't get it out because it's oil based, because it's apparently so those who don't know what Malort is, it's an herbal liqueur and it's oil based. So it's like fucking gasoline. You can't get rid of it with just drinking other stuff. It stays there.
I imagine it is pretty close to what licking a stripper pole at about 3 a.m. tastes like.
I'm still worried about Cal and the fact that he knows what gasoline tastes like. Like, what kind of shitty life have you lived where you know what gasoline tastes like? I'm just saying.
Brother, I'm from the South. If you haven't siphoned gas, you haven't fucking lived.
I've siphoned gas before, but I didn't drink it. Like, it was a point. I was like, spit it out. Be like that really bad girlfriend. Spit it out.
Yeah, but it still gets in your mouth. You still know what it tastes like. It hits your tongue, man.
Oh, I'm telling you, James, at Pennsic, you're going to do Black Blood of the Dragon. You, me, and all my Swedish friends.
I'm assuming that's the black salt drink.
Oh, you go, son of a bitch. Yeah, it's on. And then,
I'm in.
That way, when Cal comes up next year, we'll have it prepped for it. They have to bring this stuff they used to make it in from Sweden because it's illegal in the United States. Yes, that's it. I still have the bottle they left me 10 years ago.
Oh.
Right? It's probably still good.
Yeah, can't go bad at that point. Can't get worse.
Yeah, dude, it's goddamn. Black Blood of the Dragon.
She didn't stir my drink well, and it just hit my stomach. It's tasty. Whee.
Eric, if you're watching this, bring this stuff.
And we had so I don't know. So that came up with my last job. That came up, not the drink, but the candy that comes from that drink. That's the same thing. And a buddy of mine actually ordered some from Sweden. And we tried it at work, and the candy's fucking terrible. So I can imagine the drink's even worse.
Yeah. Yes. God damn.
But I'm sure, like black licorice, it's one of those things. Like, some people are gonna like it because it has that flavor set that you like.
The one person that likes it is not your friend. Like, not your friend.
Just cut them out.
You're out of my will. Like, I'm out. Yeah. Like, fuck off. Like, there's something wrong with you. Not even your parents are really positive that you're part of them. Like, ugh.
Yeah, were you loved as a child? Were you ever hugged?
Not nearly enough. Not nearly enough. Hi, Dad. Love you. I say, my parents watch my shows occasionally. I'm waiting for him to pop in. Like, I've cussed a lot, though. He hasn't said anything, so I'm assuming they're not watching tonight.
They're not watching. That's probably good.
Yeah. So they probably wait. I'm not doing that again. He cusses too much.
Oh no, I got my Jiminy Cricket messaging me on Facebook from the front room.
Yeah. So I was coming into the show, and my ladies are in the room. They're like, "We don't feel like watching your show tonight." I'm like, "I get it. I wouldn't watch the show either. I don't know why people do it." Like, I can't handle that much chaos in an hour. I was like, "It's fair. Let's do it."
But I was thinking about the show earlier today, thinking about all the other shows like you've done and Helga and them, and I'm like, what the fuck have we come to? Like, people are gonna watch all this stuff about the pinnacles of the society and what it takes to be a knight, what it takes to be a royal, and all this shit. They're gonna stumble upon this, and they're just gonna be like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Or the worst thing is the people that have never watched any of those shows, and then they come across this going, oh, this is the same guy that does this thing. It's got to be, and then stumble into this. They're like, man, that stupid society is a bunch of shitbirds. Like, why the fuck would we join that? Like, we are ruining the society for every new person that comes across.
Or Lord forbid we become like the new poster children for the fucking SCA.
Right.
A bunch of degenerates showing up, right?
I think this is a great point, right? So anybody who's out there watching who doesn't know us and doesn't understand the society, I think the society itself is great in what it does, in the educational aspects we have, and all the proper bullshit we do is fucking cool, right? That it's good. There's some shit recently that I think we all can agree on, that we have forgotten our roots. We've forgotten the fun shit. We've forgotten the silly of the SCA. Now, I don't want to go back to the time of misogyny and sexism and rape and shit. We don't need to go back to that. Like, there's some shit in our past that we don't need to go back to, right? But there's some shit in our past that's the elf ears and the silliness and the flowers of chivalry and that shit. That's our fucking roots. That's what the SCA was built on. And we need to remember that this is not supposed to be a proper fancy club. We're a hobby of goofy assholes hitting each other with sticks and drinking, right? Let's remember that.
It's in the name. We say it about the Middle Ages all the time. It's the Middle Ages, not as they were, but as it should have been. What we should have been is the SCA, not as it was, but as it should have been, right? Yes. And
all the silliness and half of the dysentery.
You know, not trying to toot our own horns or anything else like that, but I think we're three good people to look at that, right? Yeah. Like, we want to bring the fun and the enjoyment, but we want also people to know that. I know for myself, and I'm pretty sure for my co-hosts, I can say the same thing, that any place where we are, we're going to try to make it as safe as possible for everybody and allow them to have a great fucking time, right? I'm not there to police anybody, but I'm there to make sure that nobody walks away feeling like they've been offended or mistreated and shit like that, because I'm also the other guy, right? It's like, I don't give a shit. I don't care who you are. If you're a dick, I'm going to call you a dick, and I'm going to stop that shit right now.
Yep.
Right? So
we were talking before the show about filthios and things, right? The idea of being protectors, right? So both of you are knights in the society. I think part of the oath you take is the defense of the weak, defense of the powerless. I think in myself, I'm not a knight, but that's an oath I've taken to myself of I'm going to defend those who can't. You know, so when I'm out drinking, I try to drink to excess because of safety, right? My own safety and others. But I'm watching the crowd. So I was at On Your West, and I was in my cups, and I had one of the young ladies that went, I need to go to the restroom, but was too drunk to get there. I sobered up, and I helped her get there. I stood up and got her to the bed where she needed to go and got her back to her camp. Because that's part of what we do, right? That's part of the service to our society. We're having a blast, but I'm gonna make sure she's safe at the end of the day. And I'm saying she because it was a she in this case, but I don't care who the fuck it is. Yeah. Anybody who needs safety is gonna have safety with me.
Yeah, and see, we talked about that before about being a knight or being knightly. That's being knightly, and in my opinion, that's more important than wearing like belt and fucking a chain. I'm telling you right now, be knightly and fuck the rest. Right? I'll say it out loud in front of everybody.
So it's at the core, like, yeah, I mean, we want a party culture, right? But we want that party culture that's built around, like, you know, where we have people that are watching the door, people that are watching, you know, the parties in general, that safety net. And I think for the most part, we're doing a good job now recognizing that and trying to build that into everything we do. You know, and the big thing I want to push for people, like, hey, man, like, even though we're having like this raging good time, if something goes fucking sideways or weird, like, grab somebody and let them know immediately, because I guarantee you to get fucking handled. I guarantee you to get handled. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, grab somebody else, because there's you know, you want a fucking wild card who fucking handle some shit. Like, come find me, come find Fearghus, come find.
I'm like I'm right here.
There's a fuck ton of it. Yeah, because I'm yeah. Like, I grew
the
up
loudest thing in the room.
Yeah, I grew up at very punk culture and stuff like that. You know, it was very much about, you know, protecting our own community, you know, the 90s kind of punk kid. And, you know, and that shit, you know, it sticks with you, and it's filtered over the SCA for damn sure.
I've never felt safer than at a punk rock show. Right. I've seen punk rock shows like shut down because somebody falls in the mosh pit or something. Like there's a mosh pit happening with people like actively fucking beating each other to death. The minute somebody falls down and gets hurt, that show will stop to get that person out because they like there's a line of safety, and that was the coolest thing I've ever seen to that. And a lot of people are bringing that to the SCA now. We're seeing a lot of that idea of we're going to party to that line. The minute we cross that line, we're stopping and we're fixing it. And that's
So
awesome.
there was a bitch about this a lot, and it's getting more and more out, and you hear it all the time. There was a time early in the SCA that is quickly dying off. They had this cult-like mentality of like, you got to protect the SCA. So if something was, fucking shady or weird, like they, got to protect the SCA first. Those days are over. Those days are fucking over. Those people are gone. Times have changed. They realize that, and now really like a lot of the older generation and older people, players, their eyes have really been open to a lot of shit. And now there's very much a awareness of all this stuff. And, I have a motto. My motto is, it's inside the SCA, outside the SCA, community before competition, right? And I believe that in every fucking thing. Fighting, partying, just hanging out with everybody. Community. Your community has to be solid for you to do all these other fucking things. Because if your community is not solid, man, other things are going to be just not as fun and unstable. So, in the game that we play, we've got to trust people in every avenue. Man, it's so fucking important.
And it's like you're talking about dying off. I find that in the kingdom I came from, the kingdom I'm in now, stuff like that, is there's still some of the old stuff hanging around. And it's like I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm of the old culture, right? I'm old. I'm dying off. I'm out, right? My job now is to make a place where there's people coming up behind me who want to do this shit, right? Because without it, I'm selfish as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want the SCA, my son, right? And for it to be here when he's old enough to do this, I gotta help build that culture now. And that means the older culture that it has some different ideas. I'm sorry, you're not eating, you're not following, so get the fuck out of the way, right?
Yeah, get out. Yeah.
People want this thing.
So that's what I always say, man. It's if you don't change your ways, who's gonna be left to worship in these empty fucking temples?
You're only the king because they believe. That's it. That crown and everything that comes around about it, that and $8 maybe will get you a fucking cup of coffee, right?
That's true. That's true. Holy, yeah, that's a thing. All right. Fuck. We got a little deep there. My bad. All right. We got 10 minutes left. This is the pre-Pennsic story, so we got to tell some Pennsic drunk stories. Holy, your best Pennsic drunk story.
Fuck, man. I don't know if I can do it without incriminating fucking people.
We're good. Statute of limitations.
Nobody's watching us.
Yeah, nobody's here.
See, that's true. Like 7 fucking listeners. I'll give you a non-Pennsic story. I'll give you a non-Pennsic bathroom story. This is a non-SCA kind of parallel. Punk rock.
You're gonna fail. I'll tell a Pennsic story after he's done.
Very, very, very weird. So I grew up very weirdly. I'm very open about that. Like I was raised by an opium addicted witch. My granddad was she had a lot of demons and stuff like that. She was addicted to opium, but she practiced a lot of witchcraft, trying to tamper her fucking demons down. So I was raised in a very commune cult, kind of weird lifestyle, right? But it gave me like a very big sense of confidence, and it made me always seek adventure. Right, so I always went out. I had this powerful personality as a kid, so I joined punk clubs and punk community and stuff like that. And run around as the wild little maniac my whole life, because she always told me like, as long as it's right and just, there's no amount of money that can't get you out of trouble. And my aunt was fucking Oprah rich, so that's kind of what I did, right? So I joined these punk bands. So and these other bands start off. I've got I'll talk about my mundane life a whole lot in the SCA. I worked for some pretty big record companies, worked for some pretty big bands and stuff like that, opened for some pretty big bands. I was in my early bands. I was in a band called Mucus Plug, Satan Slits, Ernest Borgnine and Power Bottoms. But then I quit Christian rock, went over and started doing punk. So we're in Boston doing this punk show. And so we go on because we're like some scrub band. We go at 7 o'clock at night, right? Show's gonna go 3 o'clock in the morning, right? So we get there at like 7:45. We get paid like our $30. We get to drink for free. So I go to the bar and start pounding fucking booze down. Because that's what you do, right? Drink. And then this shot called the Rohypnol or Hippobata or some shit like that. I can't remember. But essentially, it's like 7 shots. You take a shot, they hit you over the head with like a can. You take another shot, they hit you with a pan. You take another shot, they hit you with something bigger. So eventually, you take your last shot, you put an army helmet on, they hit you with like a can. Right? It's not hard. It's enough to like fucking jar you, right? So I get to the 7th fucking shot. I fucking throw it back, slap the fucking helmet on. The fucking bartender, she hits me with this keg. I throw it back. I come forward. All she's holding the keg, and I'm like, holy shit, it's a fucking fist fight. So my drunken ass thinks she's trying to fight me. So I go to fucking kick her in her fucking meat curtain as hard as I can. And I miss like a fucking champ, right? Because I'm drunk as fuck. So fucking
Pause for a second. You just said, hold on. You just said, kick her in the fucking meat curtain.
Yeah,
That's
sounds about right.
heard.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, please continue.
So here I am, toe to the fucking ceiling, her fucking spam wallet unscathed, fucking slap the ground, and fucking fisticuffs break out, right? I know I'm too drunk to fight though, so I fucking military crawl behind this fucking booth and pass the fuck out, right? Fight calms down, bar calms down, shows eventually end, right? But the bar's open at 5 a.m. So about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I come fucking sliding out from underneath this fucking corner bar where these college kids are fucking, drinking their fucking PBRs and eating cheese fries. So here I fucking manifest. They're like, holy shit, what the fuck? Right? And all I can think, because I'm still drunk as fuck, to say is, I've been roofied. Right? So that's what they know. This fucking poor kid's been roofied, and I've probably been penetrated and laying down here in this fucking pool of fucking man milk for like God knows how long. Right? So they're like, we've got to go get the manager. He'll handle this. Right? So as they're wanting to get the manager, then everything comes flashing back. Oh my God. Holy shit. Like I started this fucking conundrum, right? Fuck, I gotta get out of here. So the bar we're in is an old converted house, right? So we're in the basement level. So I know like there's no way of getting out this fucking basement level except for the two exits where one, the manager's at, and two, the fucking security guards at, who I'm sure both are fucking aware of what I've fucking done. So I'm like, fuck, if I can get to the second story, there's windows in the bathroom, right? So I get up to the next story, partying up there. There's this bedroom where a bathroom was. They converted it all. So it's 3 bathrooms, all unisex. But I know the window's in the fucking middle one. So I run to the fucking bathroom. I'm fucking, God damn it, somebody's in there. But there's drop ceilings. I can fucking climb over the fucking roof. It's cool. So I go in the fucking men's bathroom, right? I go to start scaling the fucking wall, right? Because I know I can make it over. I can fucking make it over and I can make it out. About two quarters of the way up, I go crashing through the fucking drywall, right? Like a rapey fucking Batman. Boom, right? Woman freaks the fuck out. Why wouldn't she? Here I come busting through the fucking door, wall, whatever, right? Sweaty fucking mess. But I dart for the fucking window, right? She's screeching. I'm fucking wedging my ass. The window's giving birth. I fucking escape. Ha ha. I'm fucking free.
Like a rapey Batman. That's what you said.
Like a rapey Batman.
Okay. Second, keep track.
So I'm in this fucking alleyway, right? And I'm like, fuck, I gotta find my friends. Like, I'm in Boston. I don't know my way around fucking Boston. Right? I have 2 friends in Boston. One's in the fucking club, and one is a lesbian who is dating Judy Tenuta, right? Whom I've already had a fucking situation with, so I can't go back to her fucking house, right? But I remember my friends were like, hey, we're going to a rave after this. So I'm like, how fucking hard can it be to find a rave in Boston? So I just start fucking walking around, right? 2 o'clock in the morning. I can find a rave, right? Don't know how long I'll walk. When all of a sudden I'm like, fucking, I'm starting to get demoralized. I'm like, I'm never going to find this place. I'm going to be homeless. I'm going to be like Cain from here on out, just walking the fucking earth, right? But then I see it. Steamy fucking building, fucking strobe lights going off, lights everywhere. I'm like, it's a goddamn rave. I done fucking found it, baby. So I fucking mosey my ass on there, try to break into the rave, get inside, start looking around for everybody. I'm in a car wash. I done broke into a fucking car wash. All right? Yeah. Fucking glass building, all the fucking lights going off, the fucking dangly things closed down. I done broke into a fucking car wash. Right? I'm like, great. Now what? Now I can't get out of the fucking car wash. Because the area I jumped through, the fucking window, about 15 feet in the air, right, came down. I can't climb out up on the other side. I can't find my fucking way out. So I'm like, fuck it. I guess I live in the car wash now, right? Find me a box of chamois, fucking lay me on a little bed, fucking curl up, lay down. About 2 minutes pass, I get the tequila shits. I'm trapped in a fucking car wash with the tequila shits. So I run around. Only fucking thing I can find the shit in, the giant reservoir of soap that runs the fucking car wash. Peel that joker off and fucking blow mud for about 30 minutes. Get done, pop the lid back down, pass the fuck out. About 20 minutes passes, I hear banging on the glass, and I'm like, well, the jig's up, Mr. Holy. You've been caught. Get up. It's my fucking bandmates who fucking found me in the car wash. No idea how, but I'm like, I'm stuck. You got to break me out of here. And they point, and I fucking look, and it's just the fucking dangly things. Right? There's no door. There's no fucking bay. It's just the fucking dangly things. So I just fucking mosey on out, right? And they're like, what the fuck, dude? And I tell them the fucking whole escapade and this shit and Batman-y and all that. I'm like, we got to get the fuck out of here with the cops show. I'm like, we got to stick around till that first car goes in his car wash. And boy, did it. And it was as horrible as you expect. It was a Malort affair.
It was a Malort. All right. Fergus, top
I was a
that.
choir boy. I didn't do anything in my life. Like I got I've never shit in a car wash and soap basin.
I occasionally question my life when I talk to Holy. I'm like, I've not lived. Clearly, I have missed out on some things.
I should have gone first.
Yeah.
Right. Another one. Okay. The only thing I got over him is mine is actually from Pennsic.
Come on.
So, years ago. I had a buddy of mine named Mark Arundel. He had one crown and was King of the West. But Mark doesn't drink. Really great friend of mine. So I was his stunt liver. Right. That was my job at Pennsic. Well, that was my job for the entire reign. They made me a baldric and everything. Like I had a baldric, the whole thing. Right. So we go to Pennsic. And as you know, at Pennsic, there's all the royalty and all this other stuff. Well, they have parties that are hats only parties, right? Where you have to be royalty to go in. So Mark and Patsy, his queen, were like, hey, we got to go to this party. You should come with us because there's going to be drinking. I'm like, all right. Like, and I was a squire at the time, right? So whatever. I march over. We get there. Mark and Patsy, king and queen of the West, right? Walk up, and they had guards. I ain't fucking shitting you. Like the dudes were standing there with like halberds and shit, like they meant their shit. Right? They're standing there, right? And Mark and Patsy walk up, and they're like, "Who would you be?" And they're like, "Hi, we're Mark and Patsy, King and Queen of the West. Please come in." So they walk through, and I go to walk through with them because I'm part of their retinue, right? I am Mark's stunt liver, right? As I go to walk through, you see these fucking halberds are like this, they go, like seriously, right in front of my face, and I'm like. And this is when I was big, right? This is a 400-pound planet walking around, right? And so I'm like, and they keep walking because they don't see this shit happen. I'm like, you guys gotta let me in. I'm with them. And they're like, oh, you can't come in. You're not royalty. I'm like, so I was like, Mark. And he turns around and he looks and he goes, what'd you do? I'm like, I did shit. Like, I know nothing, right? So he walks over and we start having this conversation with these guards. These guards know what to do. And about the time the person running the party comes up, it's like, what's going on here? And Mark turns around and goes, hi, I'm Mark, King of the West. And the guy goes, no, I know you very well, very well. How may I help you? He goes, that guy right over there. And I swear to this day, this is what Mark said. He does not say he said this, but I swear to God, I was sober. I remember this. He goes, that man has to come with me because he is my organ. That's what he said. And I'm like, boss, I don't think. And he goes, he is my stunt liver. Like he changed it. But so I had my baldric. And the guards were looking, and the guy goes, yeah, let him in. So I was like, all right. So right the open. I walk in. I walk over to their majesties. I stand there with them for a moment. They're talking to the guy, and I'm like, I'm going to the bar. I'm gone, right? Because I know my job is to drink, right? That's what I do. So I go to the bar, and I'm standing at the bar, and I'm like, I would like something to drink. I'd like a shot of, I don't even remember what it was. The guy's like, I can't serve you. I'm like, what? Why not? He goes, you're not royalty. I'm like, no. You see this baldric? Like, I'm supposed to do this. This is my job. I would like to start that. He goes, no. I'm like, Mark. Mark looks over me. What you? I'm like, hey, dude, wasn't me. Like, I ain't done shit, right? So Mark comes over. Now, mind you, Mark does not drink at all, right? So he looks at the bartender with the crown on, right? Looks at me and he goes, what do I want? And I'm like, you want a shot of that, right? Whatever it was. Guy gets it, sets it down. I'm like, Mark looks at me and goes, so what did I think of that? I'm like, you liked that a lot. That was really good. He goes, what else do I want? I'm like, you want one of those, one, and I just went down the fucking list. Like, whoosh. I sat there for 2 hours drinking shots, just as fast as I could. Mark left because once the bartender realized that there was nothing he could do to stop it, it was on, right? I drained this place. We head back to camp. This is the night of the West Kingdom party, right? I get back to camp. Miles, now Duke Miles, right? Great guy. Figures out that I'm the king's stunt liver, and everybody wants to drink with the king. So Miles would run and get 2 shots and come back and goes, I got to drink with the king, right? And we would salute the king and I'd take a shot, right? Miles would run off and get another set of shots and come back. And then he would come grab random fucking people, like people walking down the road would be like, hey, you want to drink with the king of the West, and drag them inside, right? And just starts this fucking funnel. About 3/4 of the way through the night, Miles comes up to me with 2 shots, right? And he goes, I want to drink with the king. And he goes to hand one out. And I'm like, haha, I've got you. I got you fucking pegged. I reach for the one that he had in his hand that he wasn't handing me. And he goes, boom. And he drinks it really fast. I'm like, you're fucking getting water, you cheating bitch. Right? And he goes, and I grab the other shot and drink it. Bang. Like, I'm not quitting, right? Fuck it. So it had to have been midnight, 1 o'clock. And I'd started drinking like 2 in the afternoon, right? Bucket, and if you don't know the story of Bucket is a world-renowned drinker. Like, this guy's amazing, destroyer of man, but this guy can fucking drink like it's going out of style. I am so drunk that I am projectile vomiting in this spot. I can tell you where my camp is at Pennsic because there's a dead piece of grass to this day, and this was 12 years ago. It's round right by where my fucking center pole goes because I was sitting in a chair just projectile vomiting, and Bucket was rubbing my back. My lovely lady comes over and goes to be like, here, let me get him. And Bucket waves her off like, no. I did this. I got it. And then the Swedes show up.
Oh, God.
Yeah. All of Drakenwald camp comes into camp. And they start looking around. And they're like, are you here to see the king? All the Swedes were like, no. Who's the king? Like, who's that guy? We're here to see Fearghus. Right? Seriously, they all fucking get. That's whenever I got introduced to the Black Blood of the Dragon, right? So now we're drinking this horrible, and like, dude, oh my God, dude, I drank so much that I'm serious. The grass and the ground was dead. We came back the next year, it was still dead in this fucking circle where my fucking pavilion was supposed to be, right? So yeah, you want to talk about fucked up engines? Yeah. And thank God, and I fought the next day. I got up the next day, and Havek, right? Havek is walking around going, it's time to work. And I jump up, I'm like, time to go to work. And I would go out, and I would, like, the fight would start, and I'd be like, oh, I'm fucking killing people. And as soon as it was over, I'd be like, bleh. They said I was just like somebody turned the battery off to the fucking machine, right? I'm leaning up against hay bales like I'm dead. And as soon as I hear 2 minutes to lay on, they say I would sit up like I was fucking Nosferatu, like fucking helmet on, let's go to work, right? Yeah, dude, that was a hell day of fucking fighting.
I feel like that we all go through that. Like, we feel like our drunken penance, right? Like, you hit a point and you're like, I got to fight tomorrow. I it's my penance for this fuckery that I've done.
The worst part is that wasn't the first time that Mark did that to me. He did it to me at fucking Great Western too. Like, I was he was Prince of Sinagua. I was the only guardsman, and I was his banner bearer at 400 pounds. This guy's like 180 at best, in shape, running around. He fights like a caffeinated fucking ferret, right? So he'll run this way, and my fat ass is trying to keep up with him with a banner, and he'll go and back this way because something else. And I'm just like this. I told him halfway through the day, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking leg you myself. Like, I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking just fuck off.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It wasn't the first time. Well, okay, maybe I did it to myself, but he was helping, I'm sure. Like, he watched me being birthed out of a fucking tent. Yeah.
So new sticker, and then the Swedes showed up. That's a new sticker I need to make right there. And
thank God the Finns didn't show up. The Swedes are scared of the Finns.
Also describing Duke Mark as a caffeinated ferret, I'm sure he would
appreciate. He openly admits that's how he fights. He'll run around, right? It was. I got to stab an archer that day though with a banner pole while I was in the air at 400 pounds.
That's fucking impressive, actually. That's impressive. I haven't got to meet Duke Mark yet. It was one of the people. So like, I had a list of Entre West people I got to meet. I got to meet Hans and Helga and Vera and like and Sophia and fucking Zora and Luxia, a whole bunch of people. I didn't get to meet Logan or Duke Mark. Unfortunately, neither one of them there. So I have a list. I got to go back to the West now to meet. So, and Mark is one of them because I talked to him a little bit because of Logan's knighting. So,
excited to meet him. Ready.
He's speaking of like Captain Fear. He's in the middle of sewing his own investiture or his own ordination garb to be like a Buddhist monk.
Yeah,
like wow. What a badass! Like I was like, that's cool. Like
free plug right for Mark. Backyard Basics with Mark Garandale.
Yeah,
Mark Hollingshead. Right, hundreds of videos of breaking fucking fighting down. This guy got laureled in fighting.
Yeah,
like he was apprentice or whatever. I don't know. They're all squires to me. To my lady, who's a laurel, he got laureled in the art of fighting.
Right. Yeah. No. His videos like are the if you care about historical fighting in the SCA, watch Mark's videos because they are the people that he is the one of the people who really breaks what we do down in a historical manner. It's weird.
And then we'll teach you how to use the historical shit in what we do.
What? Because we play fucking tag. Let's be honest here. We do not historically fight. We play fucking tag with sticks. Right? Mm-hmm. All right. We're over an hour, so I'm gonna wrap this show up because we'll talk for all night, and I know Fergus is somewhere to be tonight. So coming up next on Kal-bardr's Corner, if I can do this, I'm slightly intoxicated, so I'm sorry if I'm slurring a little. This Sunday, Baroness Vermouth will be back with Sir Alexander on the next episode of Road to Retention at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Monday, her ladyship Isgareth will be back with Duchess Tiana for another episode of a look inside youth activities for local youth guilds. So that's going to be an interesting episode. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with guilds in Artemisia and in other countries or other kingdoms that do that and how the youth are handling that. Thursday, we will be back, not on Kal-bardr's Corner, but on Ask the Knights Live with a new episode of Ask the Knights Live, episode 50. This is the paramount episode for Ask the Knights Live. You'll notice that Sir Logan and Sir Daoud will be guests, which means I will be hosting. I will be sober for that, I promise. So looking forward to that. If you watch Ask the Knights Live, if you're a fighter, if you like fighting stuff, come watch that. We have a couple of interesting announcements. There'll probably be a giveaway going on. That is the 50th episode of that series, and Logan has done an amazing job building that up. But as a knight, he has some ideas that he wants to pass on. So bring your questions, bring your thoughts. They're two of the newest knights in the West Kingdom. So bring the deep stuff for them.
They're both FNG.
Yeah. They're not the newest knights in the West Kingdom now because there have been a couple since then, but they are some of the newest knights in the West Kingdom. I'll say that still. And then next Sunday, I'll be joined by myself. We'll be joined by Sir Neil Greenstone from Blackwood. Talk about mercenary culture. It's something I've experienced in the West now. I've actually got to experience it. We'll talk about the ideas of mercenaries and how they function. So Sir Neil is one of the founders of Blackwood. Blackwood, not Darkwood or Blackwood Company, or not Black Company. They're different things. So tune in for that on this channel next Sunday. Check my speaking of Ask the Knights Live, Mark is going to get you, Fergus, according to Logan. So there you go.
You know, that guy, I swear to God, I haven't touched him with a piece of rattan in a real fight in 15 fucking years. Yeah. That dude is badass.
All right, gentlemen, I raise a glass to the two of you. You're amazing as always. I appreciate you joining me. And to our guests, to our audience, we thank you for tuning in at the last minute, and because Cal's fucked up at dates and things, and I'm gonna go find some food because I'm apparently a little more intoxicated than I thought. But until next week, until next month, until next time, we love you. We see you. We'll see you then. But this has been Jimbo, Fergus, and Cal in Kal-bardr's Corner. Have a good night, everybody.
My job.